Hi everyone. We had been so sad in the last two chapters, but now a new chapter is waiting for us. Chapter 12, Love and Mr. Brooke. When Beth woke from her long sleep, Mrs. March was there. She smiled. She looked into her mother's face and smiled, and after that, she slept again. And Mrs. March held on to her daughter's thin little hand. While Hannah was preparing breakfast, Meg and Joe were listening to the news from their mother. They wanted to learn something about their father's health. Also, they listened to Mr. Brooks' promise to stay with him. After learning everything, they were so tired, and Meg and Joe closed their tired eyes and they had a rest. Laurie ran to give good news to Emmy at Aunt March's house. He would say that her mother was here. Okay, he went there. But after explaining this, after giving the news, he was also so tired. After that, he fell asleep in the chair. And Emmy began to write something for her mother. She began to write a letter. While she was doing this, Mrs. March came there. The girls were so happy that day, but the happiest one was Emmy because her mom was near her and she sat on her mother's knees. She really missed her sisters, her elder sisters, but her mother was with her. She decided to be like Beth from that time on. She knew that she was a bit selfish, but Beth was different. Beth was, everyone loves Beth because she isn't selfish, she thought. People wouldn't feel half so bad about me if I was sick, but I like to be loved and missed, she said. She just wanted to be loved and missed. That's why she wanted to change herself from that time on. Mrs. March promised to have her home again, but not this time. After that, she went off. Jo was waiting for her mom. Jo told her mom she wanted to tell her something important, something serious. And Mrs. March understood that it was about Meg. Jo told her the story of the glow, and she added, Meg was so young and Mr. Brooke was so poor. Let me explain these sentences to you. Do you remember that picnic, Mr. Lawrence's picnic? They went for the picnic, and Beth lost one of her gloves. Sorry, Meg lost one of her gloves. After that, Mr. Brooke took one of it. He kept it. Why did he keep it? Is he a thief? No. He just loved Meg. He wanted to keep something secret about her. And Jo didn't want this. Because, do you remember the previous chapters? Jo said that Meg was so young, wasn't old enough to marry, she thought. And also Mr. Brooke was so poor. Isn't it awful? Jo asked. But what about Mrs. March's answer? What did she say? Let's see. Jo understood that her mother called Mr. Brooke as John, and they became good friends at the hospital. John was so good to Mr. March at the hospital. He helped the March family. That's why she was so grateful for him. He also explained his love for Meg to Mrs. March. he was so honest and promised her he would earn enough money for a comfortable home before asking her to marry him. He would wait. He would wait till he would earn lots of money. Enough money, let's say. After that, he wanted to ask her to marry. The March family couldn't let them marry until Meg became 20. It was early at that time. The Mrs. March also said this to Joe. Joe expressed that she wanted Meg to marry Laurie. Laurie? Mrs. March was surprised. But Mrs. March thought that Laurie wasn't grown up enough for Meg. Meg, was grown up, but Laurie wasn't grown up enough for Meg, she thought. After that, Meg came in. She was writing a letter for her father and showed the letter to her mom. Her mom said that, please add, I send my love to John. And after hearing this, she learned that her mother called Mr. Brooke as John, and she loved him as a son. Mrs. March thought Maggie didn't love John yet, but she would soon learn it. A person can learn to love someone later, she thought. Okay, let's look at the photos. This is Jo. She was sad because she didn't want Meg to marry Mr. Brooke. Meg, she didn't know. She didn't know what to do, but she would learn to love. Mrs. March thought in this way. Okay, it's the end of the chapter. I hope you liked it. See you later.